Have you ever walked into a room and just felt the energy? Not just the vibe, but the hidden tension, the unspoken resentments, the forced smiles hiding real pain? Some people don't just feel this, they see it. They see the truth behind the masks everyone wears. And according to Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, this rare ability is the one thing that can either transform you or completely destroy you. Jung called this capacity differentiated perception. It's a gift that lets you read micro-expressions, sense hidden emotions, and see psychological patterns that others completely miss. These are the people who can't be lied to. They feel the weight of a secret. They are, in a very real way, seeing a world that is invisible to everyone else. But Jung's most dangerous discovery wasn't about the power of this gift. It was about the devastating cost. People with this ability consistently end up isolated, exhausted, and unable to maintain normal relationships. Not because they are unstable, but because seeing everything comes with a psychological burden no one else understands. Today we're going to explore Jung's most profound and unsettling discovery, the truth about people who see everything, and why this rare ability either destroys you or makes you something extraordinary. Jung's discovery began with a patient he treated in 1913, an individual with what he called undifferentiated intuitive perception. This person could walk into any room and immediately sense the psychological atmosphere, who was lying, who was in emotional pain, who harbored secret resentments. Jung wrote in his notes, "This patient displays an extraordinary capacity for perceiving unconscious contents in others, but this faculty appears to cause her considerable distress rather than advantage. She couldn't engage in small talk because she saw through every social facade. People felt exposed and uncomfortable around her, and she had difficulty holding a job because her mere presence seemed to disrupt the unspoken agreements that keep groups functioning." Jung realized he wasn't treating a mental illness. He was observing what happens when consciousness becomes too advanced for social survival. The most disturbing part? Her observations were always correct. This wasn't psychosis or delusion. It was a form of awareness so advanced it had become socially dangerous. This brings us to the real reason this ability is so dangerous. People with highly differentiated perception become a mirror for everyone else. When you can see the unlived life, the repressed desires, and the hidden pain in others, you become a living reflection of what they refuse to acknowledge in themselves. Jung documented this repeatedly. He observed that when someone's shadow is reflected back to them through another person's clear perception, the unconscious mind has two choices: integrate the shadow or attack the mirror, and most people choose the latter. His highly perceptive patients were constantly blamed for problems they were only observing. When they would gently point out that someone seemed troubled, they were accused of being negative or creating drama. This wasn't coincidence, it was a deep psychological defense. It was a form of scapegoating where the person who sees clearly becomes the designated problem in the group. As Jung wrote in Memories, Dreams, Reflections, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But for most people, it's easier to attack the person reflecting their shadow than to examine what's being reflected. So, if you have this ability, what do? Jung identified this as the integration challenge. It's about learning to manage your perception so it doesn't overwhelm you or alienate you from the world. He found that the key wasn't to turn off your perception, but to develop a strong sense of self that can filter and process the information you're receiving. This means setting firm boundaries, protecting your energy, and most importantly, finding a way to use your gift constructively rather than letting it control you. Jung believed that when properly managed, this ability to see the invisible can transform you. You can become a healer, a visionary, or a leader who can see the underlying truth of any situation. But without that integration, without doing the work to process what you see, this rare and powerful ability will leave you isolated, exhausted, and ultimately, broken. What are your thoughts on Jung's idea of differentiated perception? Do you think this ability is a gift or a curse? Share your insights in the comments below.